Hi, good day for everybody. Thank you for joining to our webinar. Just to see that you hear me, if you can write in chat, it will assist us understand that you can hear us. Okay, great. Thank you. So first of all, for those that know me, hello, and for those who didn't meet us before, my name is Yulia. I'm CEO of Seazone, and today we will go with our webinar about APA reports. Before we will talk about APA, just to present Seazone for those who didn't who with us for the first time. One second, I will share my screen. And before I'm starting a little bit, if you have questions, please send us in chat. Niv, he's from our team, he will be happy to assist. And if you will see that it's better to stop me and ask the question, he will stop me, or maximum in last 10 minutes, we will go through questions. So Seazone, about us, we are yacht management software with full range of tools for digital yacht management. Seazone can be used for individual boats and for fleet as well. And the main tools, the main models that we have, we are covering all the aspects of yacht management: yacht administration, finance management, charter and trip management, yacht maintenance, crew search and job search platform. And all of this for the yacht management companies or charter central agencies or charter fleet operators, we have a great tool for fleet management that can assist. We have between our clients also shipyards, which are using us, and we have a great tool for yacht businesses to promote themselves. But let's go through our today topic. So we will talk about charter APA. Okay, so in the Seazone charter module, first of all, we are covering not only APA reports, we are covering all the aspects of charter management. We have a great tool with the charter calendar that can assist to the captain and to the owner and to the manager for better communication, to the broker to see the calendar of the yacht, and where you can see not only the charters which are scheduled, also other boat activities. We're talking about the guest management. It's a great tool to manage guest documents, preferences, to download guest and crew list in one click, and to manage the guest history when the guest will come again to the boat or to the fleet. The task management, we can relate task to the specific charter, we can assign tasks to crew, and we can manage these tasks and to be sure that our guest will be satisfied. Charter administration, to manage contracts, charter documents, contact details. And at the end, Seazone is providing different interactive dashboards, reports, and statistics to assist to the boat and to the fleet to understand different aspects of charter boat activity. So by 2030, experts predict that most of the crewed yachts, even every crewed yacht, will use online management tools. And 3 years ago, we started with our project, and today, as I mentioned, we're covering all the aspects of digital yacht management. So we are trying to create the tool that will assist you in daily routine and make your life easier, that you will be able to be focused in your client needs and not in the back office routine. So what is the reason number one for tension between charter guests and captain, broker? If somebody has any idea, you can share in chat. Yes, it's APA. APA is Advanced Provision and Allowance, and we're talking about our guest money. So for sure, it's very important for them to understand for what the APA was spent, which expenses, and to see the clear report and to feel the control of their money. So during the presentation, we will learn what is charter APA, why do we need it, and the most important, how to manage APA and how to create charter APA report in a few minutes. Between us, we have here captains who's presenting the boat and running the boat and who is in the direct communication with the guests during the charter. We have here yacht charter managers, we have here yacht managers, brokers. So all of you, the API report in that or that point, it's very important to understand what is going on. So what is APA? Just, I'm sure that all of you know about it, but in a few sentences, APA is the extra fee that's paid in advance, and usually always it's paid on top of the charter fee. Only in all-inclusive charters we're covering all the charter expenses, but for regular charter we have APA. Usually it will be about 25 to 30% of the charter fee. Today we can see also 35%, depends from the cruising area, depends from the boat kind, from the contract. APA aim to cover different costs of the charterer during the charter, like fuel, food, alcohol, marinas, some specific requests. APA is a separate account from the boat expenses, and at the end of the charter, captain has to provide clear APA report to the charterer and confirm with him all the expenses and the balance, and sign the charterer on the report. If we have a positive balance, it should be left, balance that left, we have to return it to the charterer. So tip to get more tips. For sure, to get more tips, first of all, the crew should be smiley and service-oriented and make the guests happy. But not only that, most of the charterers will leave the positive balance of APA as a tip. So by controlling the APA balance, captain can be sure and take care of the tip for the crew. So, and to control the balance, Seazone is here to assist. So let's create APA report together, and we will go now through the system. Before we go through the system, we will a little bit touch the presentation that we will send to you at the end of the charter, where you have all the rules and some steps how to use our APA module and how to use our charter module. But we will now see it's in real when we will jump to the system. Few rules before. First of all, when we are starting with the APA report, the charter should be created in the system. Most of the yacht charter management companies will upload a charter to the system. It takes a couple of minutes. Sometimes if we're talking about individual running yacht, it can be done also by captain. To upload the charters to the system takes about 2 to maximum 10 minutes. And if we're talking about the average quantity of the charters, we're talking about 10 to 15 charters maximum per boat. So it's maximum 2 to 3 hours a year to be spent to insert all the information about charters to the systems. Since that, the system will remind the captain about the upcoming charters, and we can start to use our APA report tool. So when we are starting with APA, it will be 4 steps. The first step is upload the APA income. We are talking about the APA that should be transferred to the captain. It can be done in cash, it can be done by bank transfer to the boat bank account, or as a top-up to the credit card that captain has on the boat. It can be done also in 2 or 3 different amounts that will be transferred to the bank, to the card, and in cash. So all of this possible to do in Seazone. We will see soon how to do that. After that, crew and captain can upload expenses. At the end of the charter, we need to zero out the balance, to download the report and sign our charter or the report. So now let's jump and see how it works. So now we're in Seazone. I'm a manager. I can manage as many boats as I want. At the beginning, it's important to tell that we're looking on demo boats. The number, the names, all the information is not real. We are trying to keep it very close to real. Please don't look on the numbers. It's just for the demonstration. So let's start from our boat and see what exactly we need to do. So now this is the boat. We are coming inside to the screen, which is named Quick Navigation. Users who already using, you're familiar with this screen. Here we can see the buttons to different Seazone functionality. In the first line, favorites, each user for each boat can choose his favorite buttons. So if you're talking about managers and you have a number of boats under your management, You can choose for each boat different buttons that are useful for you. The second row, if we have the running charter, we will see the buttons related to the running charter to assist to captain, crew, and our users with the functionality of the charter. So let's start and look on our reports. One more thing before, we suggest to add all crew as a users to the boat. Our subscription has enough user license for that inside. Why we suggest to do it? Because the expenses can be done by different crew members. So if the stewardess running to the supermarket to make the purchase before the charter, she can immediately upload the expense. And in both settings, just to show you how our permissions are working, we can see that we have a full permissions management. So we will click here on permissions. We will see each module and model where we can choose. Let's look on the charter. So we can, for example, to our crew, to give the permission only to upload APA expenses and maybe to see and edit on APA expenses. That's all. They will not have access to any other information, which can be sensitive and maybe you don't want to share with other crew members. But that you can save extremely a lot of time for the captain, first of all, because crew immediately will upload expenses. You will have streamlined uploaded data, updated data in the system. So you can exactly know what happened with the APA. If you have any question, you will know from whom to ask. And for sure, it can decrease the quantity of human mistakes, missing receipts, and missing data. So let's come back to our quick navigation. We have button in the left corner. We can come back to our quick navigation. So here we can see the buttons for our charter. If we will click on Go to Charter, we will see the details about the charter. I have permission to all the features, so we hear everything, but for sure we can manage it as I mentioned before. So we can see here the details about the charter. We can see here that our APA balance is still 0. We can see contact person details. We can see documents. We can manage here the fuel consumption, our guest list. So all information is here. To start with APA, we can click on button Add APA from here, or from quick navigation. We have a couple of places that you can do it. So let's click on Add APA. So now system is remind us, don't forget to make income transaction first. As we talked before, to start with the APA, first of all, you need to insert the income of the APA. So let's do it now. And we can come here on Add APA Income Outcome. If you're doing it from phone, you can make the photo of the receipt or of the provement by using your camera. From computer, we can just upload the file. For now, because we will make no receipt, and I will mention that we have income in cash, for example, a part of APA in cash. And I received, let's imagine, 5,000 euro in cash. So now the system is adding our transaction. And if we will click on APA report, we'll see now that from 22,000 euro of APA that was mentioned in the contract, we received 5,000 euro. We can see that we have here APA cash income 5,000. So now we can add additional 17,000 euro that were transferred to the bank. So we can click on Add APA income. We'll click here, no receipt for now. APA income bank transfer. We'll put here balance of the APA income. You can write whatever you want, 17,000 euro. And let's see what happened. So now we can see that we received all the amount from the contract, 22,000 euro. And we can see that we received cash income, 5,000 euro. So it's influence on our petty cash balance. In Seazone, you can manage your boat petty cash balance. Why it's important? For the charterer, when he sends his APA, and usually he should pay the APA with the last payment of the charter 1 month before, it's not interesting for him how the captain will pay or the company in cash, and wire transfer, or by credit card. But to manage the both accounts, and at the end of the month, usually you need to go through the petty cash that you have on the boat to see that it balanced, to check your credit card statements, to be sure that you don't have any missing expenses and that everything is balanced, and to check the bank account. For that, we are providing this tool that you can choose the payment method of the money received and also of the expenses. For example, here, this boat is managing also regular boat expense in season and using our finance module, finance management. So we'll see the petty cash balance on the boat that captain should has in his safe. It's also managed in different currencies. We are connecting, we have the integration with the central bank worldwide database and updating the currency rates accordingly every 2 hours. We will see how it works. Let's add our first expense. We can choose here the receipt. So for now, I'm working from computer, so it's offering me to take from the computer. So let's take something, some photos. We can choose, for example, I paid in cash. Let's see how it will influence. We get food and beer, supermarket. So when we add in, let's look on it. First of all, we suggest to upload all the receipts. At the end of the charter, sometimes guests can ask for the receipts because they're using it to put it on company expenses for their tax reasons. So you need to be with all the receipts. If you will upload receipts with Seazone, at the end you can download all the receipts as zip file and send them to the guest. And also, if the guest will have any questions, any clarification will be needed, you can easily open the photo of the receipt and see all the information. So the crew member, the system automatically knows who's the user. So if you're providing access to all the crew members to upload expenses, you will know exactly who uploaded. The receipt date is always, as a default, it will be today. But if you upload expenses for the day before or for different date, you easily change it here. Payment method. We can see here that we have 3 different payment methods. Bank transfer for the expenses that were paid by wire transfer, for example, most of the fueling or marine payment or agency payments will be made via bank transfer, so you can choose the bank transfer. Cash, the expenses that were made by cash. Credit card by credit card. If you have more than 1 credit card in the boat, you can also update its boat settings and to choose the right credit card. So let's put again cash. The subcategory, you can see here the list of the categories. It can be easily customized by your company or boat needs. We provide a template with the main categories based on our experience. Our team is coming from boating, so we have dozens of years of experience, but you can easily change it. You can also write it on different languages, so it's up to you. And VAT included. In our days, in last years, we have VAT regulations on the charter expenses. So all the charter expenses should be VAT included, but sometimes the boat can fuel the boat with a duty-free fuel in the beginning of the season, for example, or some purchase can be done without VAT. So as a default, you have here VAT included, but you have any expenses without VAT, you can remove this mark. And after that, it will be very easy to filter out all the expenses without VAT and send the list of the expenses to your fiscal office for calculation of the amount that should be charged for the VAT. So let's put here the amount. As I mentioned before, we have different currencies. If you don't see the currency that you are working with, you can contact our support and we will add it here. You will see the most popular currencies that the yachts are working. So if our charter is running in euro and we are now cruising in Turkey, for example, and I will choose Turkish lira, we will see that system suggesting us the exchange rate and automatically converting the amount. If I need to change it, I can adjust the rate depends what I want to write here. And system automatically will convert accordingly the amount in original currency to the charter currency. So let's make it in euro now. We're clicking on submit. Now I'm explaining, so it's taking time, but in general, for crew to upload expense takes a couple of seconds and the expense insight. We can immediately see that our API balance was updated accordingly. So we spent in 1,000 euro and we have now API balance of 21,000 euro. We can see that we paid this in cash. So also the charter petty cash balance updated accordingly and our board cash balance as well. And we can see our transactions here that we first of all had 2 transactions of API income, which were uploaded by Yulia Froiman. And we can see exactly what and how it was uploaded. And we can see our cash expense. So if we will click now, we can go and we can see even the screen of our receipt. So it's very easy to find here any information. If I will write here supermarket, the system will filter out me based on keyword. So if you have any questions, we are looking for something, it's very easy to find it. And here we have different views. I will jump now to other boat where we have the ready API report and we will look how it looks and what we can do. Niv, we have any questions?
There was one question about the access for us as Seazone. If we can, if I understood correctly, the question from Tash, it was if we as Seazone have access to all the accounts and the boats.
Okay. We don't have access to the data that you insert. If you have any questions, technical questions, you can contact our support and they can give you technical advice. If you need to clarify any information, for example, the balance is not like it should be and you cannot find the mistake in the inserting of the data, you will have to provide access to our support manager or to invite him to the boat for the period of working together, or to share your screen in video call. So we don't have any access to the data that you're inserting. Okay, I will continue now and we will jump to other boat where we have Taj, I hope that I replied to your report. If you have more questions after that, we can discuss it. So we will go now to other boat to see the API report, which is already full with expenses that we prepared for today. So let's look on it. We will click from quick navigation to API report. We can see that API was 45,000 euro from 45,000. We can see that we have total expenses of 10,718 euro. It's very easy to understand for what the money was spent. So all our reports are clickable. So if I want to know for what does it mean guest other, we can just click and we see the filter of the expenses under this subcategory. We can even click and we can see the photo of the receipt to understand what exactly it was for, or we can go inside and see all the information, the description, and understand the spending. So we can click on button back and come back to our report. So here, this is the most useful screen because you very easily can understand what is the API balance, and to control the balance on a daily basis as a manager, as a captain. It's very important to be sure that you have enough in API balance, and if a client needs to add additional amount, to ask from him on time. Here you can see the list of expenses, and we have 2 different views. We have the yacht view, where we will see also the payment method, and we have the charter view. The charter view is similar, but we will not see the column with the payment method. How did we pay for that? And see here the graph about the payment methods. This report can easily be downloaded anytime. So if the charter has any question, he's coming to the captain. Captain in 1 second can see the API balance, what the money was spent, and to reply for the questions to the guest, to the broker, to the manager, manager even doesn't need to contact him. If he has access, he will see it by himself. So this report, by clicking on download, you can download in PDF, in Excel, and download receipts, as I mentioned before. So we'll click now. For example, we had the request from the guest for the report to see what happened. And we also can share the link with our API report. At the end, all the clients in our days, they're looking for transparency, for professionalism. And this is the way to be transparent. You can give them a link. We will click on share link. Here the link, by the way, is ready. Let's click on it just to show. You can see how fast the system is working, and you can continue to work. You don't need to wait for the system creating the report. You can see this is our report with logo of the boat. It's completely broker friendly. If boat is under company, we will not see the company logo, only the boat logo. We can see the main details about the charter and the same report that we saw. And here we can assign the captain and charter when we will come to the end of the charter. So the link, it's here. We copy our link. I will show you how it looks. So we need now to copy the password. And we can go inside to see our report. So we can see the report. This is the only information that the user who has link password can see. If something happened in the middle, I know that we can hear this question a lot of times, that, for example, manager or broker understood that there is some miscommunication or something, some clarifications should be done, and you don't want that in that moment for the 2-3 hours, the charter will have access to the report. You can just come here and change the password, and they will be not able to access the report. Maximum, you will tell them that you need to check, and after that, provide them the new password. So by this, you can stop the access to the API report to the charter or to the broker or with whom you're dealing. So now we're running this, we're adding API expenses, only to be done, and we suggest again to do it by all the crew, and we're to the end of the charter. When we're coming to the end of the charter, need to zero out our API balance. As we know, the amount that left as API balance, if it's positive, should be returned to the charterer. Before we are closing the report, we suggest to do a few things. First of all, to look on the API balance. And if it's positive, and it should be positive, if it's negative, that means that we missed the moment where we were needed to ask for additional money from our charterer. But let's talk first of all of most common situation that we have a positive API balance. So what we need to check? First of all, we need to check that we don't have any missing expenses. The captain should go through the expenses and look on them and try to ask also from the crew if everything was uploaded. The second one, we need to go and add our fuel. When talking about the fuel, most of the boats, they were fueled before the charter. So captain needs to calculate the fuel consumption, and after the calculation, to add the fuel cost to the charter. First of all, in our charter data, we have a section where captain can mention the main details of fuel consumption. We can write here the start, for example, how many fuel we had. If we purchased any fuel during the charter, we can mention here. We can put the final consumption, how many fuel we can put here the generator hours to explain. It can assist to explain to the charterer where the fuel was spent, because most of the charterers, especially if you're talking about the first experience, they don't take in the calculation the generator consumption. So it can assist to the captain to explain that we spend fuel when we are cruising or when we are staying on anchor and using our generators. So we can mileage, it can assist to show short calculation about the fuel. Once we have the calculation how many liters were spent, we can calculate the cost and upload this as expense. We will click on APA put here even to write the paper and put here or something, and to make a photo of this, or just to click on no receipt. If we don't have receipts, we can click on no receipt. We will choose, let's take it from cash. We will choose here the fuel. Departments. For the boat, for the big yachts, when we're talking about yachts 30 meters and more, when the petty cash balance is managed not only by captain, but maybe also we have a petty cash in a few different crew hands. Like, for example, the captain giving cash to chef, and chef should manage his petty cash balance as well, or to the chief stewardess. It's like with my kids. When I'm giving them money, it's not matter when I will ask if they have something, they will tell me no. So to manage my kids' petty cash, I'm also using Seazone. We have Seazone for my family. But here it's the same. So you can create departments. If somebody here has these cases, you can just schedule with us a short demo and we will assist you how to create departments and how to manage this in correct way. So here we will write that we saw that we used 6 liter. We can put here, if we want, the place of fueling and the price by liter. Let's tell that it's 1.7. I don't know what is the cost. I think that's even more. And for the fuel, if it was duty-free fuel, and we will need to ask from the fiscal office for the calculation of the VAT that should be charged from the client, we can mark here that it's not include VAT. Or if it's include VAT, let's put that fuel usage during the charter, and we can put here our amount. So I will make it easier for calculation, 12,000 euro. So now we can see that our total expenses, APA expense, now it's 22,000 instead 10,000. We can see that our APA balance is 22,000 now left. And we can see that our petty cash balance is negative because we received in cash, we took from ATM 10,000, but spent 17,000. So I forgot to add here ATM withdrawal as a captain. I can do it. I will show you after how to do it. And it's just for me to see that I'm not using my own money, or I'm not, maybe I received money from the charter in cash for something. So it can put my attention to be sure that our petty cash is okay as well. We will take care of it first. So we check that we don't have any missing expenses. We add the fuel cost. Now we need to check with our fiscal office about the VAT calculation. So we will go here. We have a special columns, VAT included, not included. So we can go here and filter out all the expenses that were without VAT. We can download this as Excel and send to our fiscal office to calculate the VAT, or calculate by ourselves as a captain, and to check that it's calculated correctly. And also the VAT amount we can as expense. Let's imagine that we need to charge 1,000 euro as VAT. So we will put here, let's make it like bank transfer. We will choose here, we can choose any category that we decide. Let's put it on authorities, VAT on expenses without VAT. So we can put here 500 euro. What I forgot to do, to choose the department and submit. So we added the VAT. This is our Excel file, which is ready. I will show you how it looks. Let me know if you can see my screen. Maybe not, because I'm sharing the window with Chrome. But at the end, it's Excel file that we can share and send to our fiscal office. So we can see now that we added additional 500 euro to authorities here. If we click, we will see here, okay? And so now, only thing that we have is to sit with our charter and to ask him about the tips, how much he prefer to leave us as a tip. So once the charter is decided how much he prefer to leave us as a tip, Also, tip, we suggest to add as expense because for charter, it's expense. Niv, any question? Because I have that thing.
Yes, there was a question, but maybe after we finish this book is more general.
Okay, sure. Okay, no problem. So we will put here, you can write by the charter, maybe some paper that this is the amount for tip. Sometimes they want to share tip between the crew per their vision. So whatever you decide, I will now no receipt, and I will choose here cash, and I will, if received in cash, if it's in bank transfer, so we will choose bank transfer. And we have the subcategory tips, tip for crew, and let's decide that we have 10,000 euro as a tip. Let's put it in bank transfer because we don't have enough cash, and we will click on submit. So now we can see that also the tips, we can see here as a separate category, and we can see that our API balance was updated accordingly. So this is the amount. I suggest to make last check before. So to go through expenses, to everything is clear, that we didn't make any mistake, that all the expenses we added fuel, tip, hope that captain is happy with the tip and everybody is smiley, and the charter first of all is happy with the charter and he will want to come again. So now that we need to zero out our APA balance. So we have in the balance now 11,782 euro balance that should be returned to the charter. This is a big amount and we don't have it in cash. So we will ask from the central agency or from our yacht management company to send this amount by bank transfer. And now we need to add this transaction to zero out our report. We will click on APA, add APA income outcome, and we will click here on outcome as a bank transfer. Zero out of the APA balance. The balance will be sent by bank transfer, and we can put here our amount, euro. So we use it to choose outcome and not income because we are giving money back. And when we click on submit, we will see that now we have 0 in APA. We can download our PDF report. If we'll come here and we will renew the screen, we will see that everything is accordingly changed accordingly. We can see here all the expenses. We can see here all the receipts that we uploaded. So if we don't have, if it's written no, that means that we didn't upload receipt here. We can also, for example, download receipts as a zip file to our client to provide him with this. You can see here that it's a zip file. So now, and our APA report is ready. So in one click, captain doesn't need to spend full night, try to take all the receipts to upload, to put them in Excel file, and to try to find the missing things. The report is ready. As a manager or broker, you have access to the report anytime from any place, even from your phone. Seazone is mobile first oriented. So here we can see the report. It can be signed by captain and by charterer. And I suggest once you sign the report to upload it here in charter data. We have a place where we can upload documents. So we can click here on edit and we can add document. We will put here signed APA report. Let's imagine that this report was signed. We will upload the file. I have a Mac, so I need to download it first. I will not do it now, not to spend our time. Signed report, and we can click on save and close. So now in our charter documents, we have also signed the APA report that we will have access anytime in any place, not matter when, to have this report that we can share, send to authorities, to show to authorities if needed. Here we can see that our APA balance is 0 out. So everything is clear, and we finished with our report. So it's easy, it's fast. As I told that Seazone is not only for API reports. In Seazone, we can relate here charter tasks. So if you have anything to be done for the charter, before the charter, any specific request from the guest, the manager, the broker, if he has access to the boat for sure, can create the task and assign them to the charter, to assign them to the specific crew member. So we can see that this task, one is on Nif, one is on me. We can see exactly what needs to be done. We can put notes, photos. So we'll see if something going during the charter. So you can create tasks to the back office or to the crew and manage them. We can manage here all the data to see all the documentation, contact details. Here we can see our guest, and if you will click on there, we will see all the information in their documents. If you put guest one time on board, the system will remember him. So if this guest will return again, you don't need to ask for him again for information. You can see, just check that his information is up to date and he doesn't have any expired document. So if we will click here, we will see the boat guests that were in the past, even the fleet guests. So we have, if we are fleet, we can give the access to the fleet guests, and we can download growing guest list. We can put here, for example, Athens, Greece, to choose the departure date. Let's create just as an example, and we can download the guest list as a PDF in one click. Captain can do it from phone. He doesn't need to go to his computer. He just can do it even during the anchoring or when he's away, when he's running and taking care of different aspects, and share this guest list with the authorities. So here we can see the central agent contact. We can put here the contact person from the guest side. Here we can see all the documents. We have also possibility to download, to create automatic generated documents. For example, this was a request from one of the companies who is using our model to manage their fleet. So they ask for automatically generated boarding pass. If you click on it, we will see the main details, the system taken automatically, and click on save and download. System will generate now. This is our guest list is ready. And just to show, so you can see the guest list that can be printed and signed. And now we ask to generate for us the boarding pass. Meantime, I will go to our calendar. Let's see the calendar. Okay, so here we can see, I didn't click, I will come back. The boat calendar, you can see all the calendar of what happened on the boat. We can move between the months, and we can add here not only charters, we can put here charters and separate between owner charter and regular charter. We can add here delivery, shipyard period, custom, for example, boat shows or any other custom events, and it will be shown here. So it's also a very useful tool that can be integrated with Google Calendar. And in fleet, we will see the full fleet with all the events that happen and charters on the boats under fleet. So it can be managed under the fleet. We can see here that if I'm staying here, we already can see the API balance. So if we will come now to our charter and we will stay, we see that our API now is 0. So it's even we don't need to go inside. We are trying to make alerts, important alerts, and to show important information in different places just to assist the user. So with Seazone, you can do and you can simplify your routine day and your routine work. And one second, we will go now back to our presentation. So a little bit about VAT, we already covered this during the demonstration, that about the VAT regulations. At the end, today, it's very important to be updated with your fiscal office about VAT regulations. You have the functionality in Seazone that can assist you to filter out expenses without VAT and to check with the fiscal office for how much you should charge. The same for the duty-free fuel. Tip, we talked that we have a specific category for tips, so it can be easily added to the expense report, to the upper report, sorry. And for sure, still, we can see that most of the yachts in the industry presenting to the guests report in Excel. I can tell you that the first captain that used our APA report functionality, it was almost more than 1.5 years ago, and it was a charter on a big yacht that cost more than 200,000 euro per week. At the end of the charter, the captain contacted me and told me that he has to send me a bottle of whiskey. I'm not drinking whiskey, but my husband, yes. And I asked him what happened, why. He told me, listen, when I showed your report to the client, and he's chartering boats already for more than 8 years, he told that in all this period that he chartered every year boats, this is the first time that he can see so clear and readable and understandable report. And he left him tips for him and crew, 15%, that is a very nice amount. So everybody was happy. So it's very important. And Seazone can provide you with a tool where you will be with the transparency to your client, the professional report. It will save time for captain and also for manager, for the ping pong between the captain and the manager about the expenses when you want to check something during the charter. So everything is in the system online and you have access to that. And for sure, if you're more professional, the guest will be more happy and crew will receive better tips. It's good for everybody, for the crew, for the captain, and for sure also for back office team. Happy guests will return again. And remember that the tension, one of the main tensions between the charterer and the last impression is from APA report. So you try to do it in the most professional and clear way. So I think that now we have time for questions. I will finish with my presentation. Niv, you want to assist me with questions?
Yes, there was a question from Pierre. One question is of course, if he asked if Seazone has other features other than accounting. So it's
okay. I will reply. Yeah.
Through the other.
Yeah, let's go question by question. Maybe Pierre, thank you for your question. Yes, we have all the aspects of yacht management. We are covering the maintenance management, where you can manage the daily tasks. You can manage the work list projects. For example, winter work list. You can manage the inventory of the boat, all the systems, and the history of the log of the yacht. So this is for that. We have the finance management for regular expenses, not only APA expenses. At the end, boat is running through all the year and has expenses which are not related to the charters. You have the administration tool that can assist to manage boat documents with reminders, alerts, and different additional crew management inside and the charter management that we discussed now. So you are welcome to schedule. You can write your details, and Niv also, I'm sure that he has, and we can schedule a demo and show you that. I can see that you also asked about no internet connection. Seazone is online software, and we are sitting on cloud. Most of the boats, most of the time, 95% of the time, they have even more. They have internet on the boat. So we don't have option for offline work. In the future, we're planning to add application for some features that will work offline, but we have already 35 users. We have more than 230 yachts who is using us on a daily basis, and we don't have complaints about for this, that they have to deal with the offline functions. Need some other questions?
Let me see. Yeah, we'll send. It's about if we can send all the information. So after this presentation, we will send all of you guys an email with the brochure, and of course, I will write here. Oh, I already wrote, but I will write again. If you have any question, to our info@Seazone.app, and you feel free to contact us anytime if you want one demo. If you have specific questions, that's definitely can help. on specifically on APA, or in general, if you have any other questions for any.
Our specialty is also during the demo, we can understand your special needs. Then we are working in niche industry, and we understand that for sure, not only each company has specific needs, and we have a very customized system. And also, I'm coming in my history from iTech before yachting. Many years ago, I was working as a project manager for big data, business intelligence, and implementation of softwares and systems in big corporations. So we have this option and vision how Seazone can be useful for your specific needs, and how you can use different tools and assist you to create this ecosystem for your organization or for your yacht. So feel free to contact us. We will, as Nick mentioned, we will send you the presentation, the general and the more clear presentation with a step-by-step how to use our APA feature. Thank you very much for joining us. Yes, Zisim, I can see that you want that we will make a demo. Niv, can you know the name and we will contact to schedule a demo, please?
Yes, of course. If you can write your emails, and if you want, you can write me in private chat or in here, and we can get back to you to schedule the demo.
I will also write here in messages maybe our support phone number, so you can send here to WhatsApp in support the request, and we will contact you to schedule the demo as well. 1 second. Yes, Niv, you can continue. I just want to write.
And I can say as the one as I'm the captain. I'm captain for many years. So for me, I know how captains a lot of times they're kind of afraid of softwares and stuff like this. The great thing about Seazone is it's super easy to use, and I can say that almost 100% or 100% of the captains that actually use it want to continue using it on other boats, which is very happy for us. It means we're doing the system is simple enough for everyone. So I hope you enjoy it, and everyone have an amazing season. It's almost there, so get ready, and contact us at any time. Be happy to help with charters or with other maintenance.
Yeah.
We have many other
also
features.
We have a great tool. I'm sure that most of you are looking for crew now. We have a great platform for crew search. It's free. We have a free account, freemium module that you can use, and we have more than 35,000 crew profiles. We're talking about crew who joined us in less than 2 years, so most of them, they are up to date. And also we have a customer success manager that if you will go there, will be happy to assist you in the crew search. More than 2,000 jobs were posted in our system in last 1.5 years, and we have a very great successful rate. It's free. It will keep your email box safety. So also if you need to contact us, and we will be happy to assist. Thank you very much, and hope to see you as our users if you are not using us, and if you are using us, so hope that you are happy. We are here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.